shut the whole block down. Here comes trouble, homie. I'ma tell you how the king like to ride, homeboy.
I like my beat down, in my top. You see me ride 24 wood. Hey, holla at me like you're getting wood. And you're talking that back. If you're real sick, hey, yo, what no bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a bird. It's a plane. No. It's just them two cool brothers, Cirque Money, and some call me Quinn. We are back with another episode of the I Snuck In Here podcast. Today is more of like a impromptu type of episode. This is for all of our movie lovers, our comic book comrades. This is to talk about the current status of the DCU and where the films are going, where the TV shows are going, where James Gunn needs to go. Me and my amazing partner, some call me Quinn, we are about to go over some topics and dig in on if we were running Warner Brothers or the DCU, what we would do to, come in and give it some cosmetic surgery, make it appealing, make it exactly what the fans want. Like when Aquaman hit $1 billion and no one was expecting the first Aquaman film to hit $1 billion. We are here tonight to explain what needs to be done to replicate that type of success. So without further ado, the man of the hour, some call me Quinn. Where you at, sir?
What up, man? You know, I got my y'all can't see it. I got my Superboy cutoff style rocking. I'm here repping, man.
Are you Connor? Are you Connor?
Oh no, not Connor King. Well, was he Connor King in the 90s? He might have been Connor.
You know what? I don't think he was. You're right. He didn't come Connor King. I think until like the millennium, like the mid 2000s.
Yeah. I don't think he was Connor King. I'm gonna have to, as y'all can see, he right here. I gotta open this up and read it again. So I'll figure it out later tonight. But hey, man, I'm happy to be here because there's definitely a lot going on, man. And maybe they need us to be the CEOs of the DCU because who the F is in charge?
Yo, when it was broadcast, when it was said to the world that James Gunn was going to be running the DCU, you were the first person that said to me, we're either going to be in good shape or terrible shape. You said it's not going to be somewhat in between. And I hate to admit it, but you were right again. And
don't make that sound so bad, man. Hey, James Gunn is a one-trick pony. You can't have a creative person be the head of a major studio. He can't be the head of a major studio because one, he has his certain style and he's going to want that vision across this universe, which means you're not going to get any diversity. If you look at the marketing, let's just start with Superman, right? If you look at the marketing for Superman, he was in all the marketing. He was in all the marketing, like the press junkets. He was in there like he was one of the stars of the movie. Bro, if you're not in comics or don't know comic movies like in detail, nobody knows who you are. No. James Gunn thinks that his name is known like Spielberg, like George Lucas, stuff like that. You're not known like that. You're not even J.J. Abrams, bro, and I don't like him either, but like you're not even him. Like your name is not known like that, and he needs to understand that, hey, Warner Brothers saw the success of Marvel, and they said, why don't we have that? How do we get that? What's a good movie in Marvel? Guardians of the Galaxy is a good movie. Oh, okay, cool. Let's steal him from them and make him in charge. But again, Warner Brothers don't know what the hell they're doing.
No.
They don't know what they're doing. So that's why, and I'm not going to go on my rant yet, not yet, but this is why the DCU has some of the issues that it has right now.
Okay, so let's start with when he did his first project with the DCU, when I think it was still the DCEU when Mr. Gunn first came along. So we're going to start at the root, in my opinion, of
Rooted to them.
where everything started wrong. Everything started wrong with the Suicide Squad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't feel that that movie should have never been done, because right then and there you are heavily confusing the average movie goer. See, the real issue is you're not really supposed to just worry about people like me and Quinn. You have to worry about the 80% of the average moviegoer.
Facts.
Those are the individuals that you need to get their attention, because we know the lore, the history, the culture of all these things. So we're going to find something that we don't like regardless. Anytime we watch something, it could be great, but we're going to still say, man, you know what? If they would have did that, oh man, they just would have took it over the top. So when James Gunn came in to do the Suicide Squad, it was after he was recently let go of Disney and Marvel for some old tweets. Now I think at this time, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 may have already been filmed, and he was writing the screenplay for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So when he was let go of Marvel, DC and Warner Brothers, they snatched him up quickly, right? They gave him free reign, and they asked him, what property, what IP would you want to start with? He could have went with any of the big three: Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. He said the Suicide Squad. And he said that because he knew he could have just did copy and paste. The Suicide Squad was nothing but a doppelganger of Guardians of the Galaxy. I would have not okayed that if I was one of the execs or CEOs of Warner Brothers. But like my partner said, they don't know what they're doing, because they're the same people that gave the keys to The Rock. You had The Rock designing one spectrum of what he thought DC was going to be. You got James Gunn on another end. You have everybody making the same dish with different ingredients, and they're trying to tell you it tastes the same.
Yeah.
It's madness, right? So if you were coming in, right? If you were coming in, either the filmmaker or an exec, what property would you have started with to reboot the DC films?
So and we're saying the Suicide Squad is the first one, right?
The Suicide Squad should have never been filmed. If you were coming in before the Suicide Squad was filmed, if you were coming in, would you have done a light reboot or a hard format the hard drive, we're starting over?
You gotta do a hard reboot of it. And you start with the S on my chest. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way around it. You start with Superman.
Okay.
Because you have to set you got to set the goalposts. Because the problem, and I am, don't get it wrong, y'all can't probably see it because the lights right now, but I am a Batman fan. I don't know how good you can see it, but he's behind me. You can't start with Batman because the litmus test, you have to make your Batman be able to be in the world with Superman. Superman can be in any world Batman is in, but your Batman has to be able to make sense in a Superman world. That's why the Batman with Mr.
Robert
Twilight.
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. That's why he can't come into this world. That's another conundrum we'll talk about in a second.
Okay. Because
that Batman, I mean, what are we talking about? Like, that's not a real thing. Even Christian Bale's Batman couldn't be in that world. Ben Affleck was the best one that was like, okay, that makes sense that Batman can rock with superheroes. It made sense. But you have to start with Superman just to set the standard. That's what I would have started with.
Okay. And I don't disagree with that. I feel just as strongly with starting with Superman because everyone in different age generations are going to have their own connection. They're going to have their own memories of which Superman meant the most to them. But what means the most to all of us is, like you said, the S on the chest. We know what that means, right? You had the last Dark Knight film in 2012. Okay. Dark Knight Rises. Then you had Ben Affleck's Batman in, what are we saying, 2014, 2015? When it was mentioned that he was going to be Batman, or was it a little bit earlier than that?
No, it's about that.
Around that. Okay. And Robert Pattinson was stated to be Batman, I want to say right before the pandemic hit, because he was complaining about eating a lot of carbs and putting on, muscle weight. So let's just think about that. You have 3 different Batmans in less than 10 years.
Yep.
That's the number one thing that's wrong with DC.
Hold on, though. Hold on. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland.
I'm glad you brought that up.
They're about the same lit apart. Sony just realized they were effing up the Spider-Man franchise and they gave it to Marvel.
And see, that's where Marvel is great at. Marvel has not been flawless in terms of not messing up, but when they know that they're about to get thrown out, they say, oh, hold on, we're going to dial this back in. And Spider-Man No Way Home is what saved that notion of us having 3 different Spider-Man in less than what was that? 10 years, 12 years, something like that?
About 10 years. It wasn't.
Okay. 10 years.
Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire came out in 2002.
And the last one came out in 2007 or 8. One of them. Spider-Man 3 came out, I think, 2007.
Right. So within 2008. Let's say Tobey Maguire ended in 2008 and Garfield came what? 14, 12, 14?
He came in
12. And then Tom Holland came in 17 or 18 because it's right before Endgame and it's within 10 years.
He came in 16 because he came in Civil War.
Right. So yeah, within 10 years, you had 3 Spider-Man. So it can be done.
Yeah, with better writers. So let's get that. You know what? Let me clean this dinner table. Let me clean everything up. First thing we need good script writers. That's what we need to start with. And on top of having good writers, the writers need to be left alone. That's one of DC and Warner Brothers' biggest issues. They come in, and because they're more of a whatever new regime comes in, we're going to let them meddle in what was getting worked on. They need to stop that. You will have a film being worked on, and then a new CEO comes in and says, you know what? I don't like that script. I don't like who was casted. We need to do this. We need to put some clowns, vampires, and a flying pig in the movie.
Yeah.
Look at the Flash, dude. Look how disrespectful they were to Grant Gustin. Gustin's Flash TV show on the CW had one of the biggest premieres in CW history. And the very next day, it was announced on Deadline that Warner Brothers had greenlit a Flash movie.
Yep.
Think about how disrespectful they are.
Because of the disconnection of, okay, so I don't want to keep talking about Marvel, but I have to because of comparison to what we're talking about. But Marvel is run by comic book people. Kevin Feige is a comic book person. Like, he knows comic books. He is in charge of it. He's in charge of Marvel Studios. He lets the directors have free will. That's why you have Jon Favreau do his Iron Man thing. That's why you have Taika Waititi, even though I hated Love and Thunder, is one of the worst movies ever. But Ragnarok brought Thor back. Ragnarok brought Thor back. He let James Gunn be James Gunn.
The Russo brothers set the tone.
The Russo brothers. Kevin Feige, this is what Marvel does. Marvel says, hey, you can make your movie and you can make it how you want to, but somewhere in that movie, this, and this needs to happen.
Boom.
And that's it. That's all it is. This, and this needs to happen. Go make your movie. Good job. Warner Brothers just has executives, and it was like, oh, again, who can I get to run? Okay, let's get James Gunn to do it. But they don't realize that James Gunn wants to make all James Gunn projects. I don't care what nobody says, even though Supergirl wasn't directed by James Gunn, that was a James Gunn movie.
Dude, what's that? The Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter said James Gunn was seen on set more than 17 times during the Supergirl filming. He was seen on set giving what they call notes.
Notes, right.
Right. In turn, and we know what that means. That means that fool was there directing 17 days.
17 days he was directing. Now, don't do that. Don't do this.
When he was supposed to be working on Man of Tomorrow. But we'll get there in a little bit.
Let's break down. Let's just break down for the people to line up so far. So you started with The Suicide Squad, which, like you said, confused everybody because wait, Harley Quinn's in it, but I thought is this a reboot? Is it the same universe? What's going on? You still had people from the original Suicide Squad in this Suicide Squad. So that's one F up right there, because now you're like, okay, what's real and what's not? Then you went with Peacemaker. Now here's another issue. Your kid can't see Peacemaker. So Peacemaker should have nothing to do with the evolution of the story of your universe, because children cannot watch that show.
No.
If you're going to say that's in it, cool, but that's got to be a one-off somewhere, and it has to play no part with what you're doing. Then they go to Creature Commandos, which I actually liked.
Might I add something real quick? In the season 1 of Peacemaker, the Justice League.
Justice Gang. Oh, the Justice League. The Justice League. No, the Justice League. You're right.
I believe they had a stand-in for Superman.
Yep.
They had
and standing for Batman.
But Jason Momoa was there as Aquaman.
And the Flash.
Ezra Miller was there, and they had a stand-in for Wonder Woman.
And I stand in for Wonder Woman. So you're saying that Peacemaker was in the original DCEU. So again, this is more the confusion of it. So then you go Creature Commandos, like I said, which is good, but here's my problem again. The Suicide Squad, Creature Commando. And let me go on. Keep going. The next movie is Superman. And then Superman, they're all Guardians of the Galaxy. Every single thing I just said is just Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to get a group of ragtag people together. They're going to go on a trip and to fight whatever, and they're going to band together. Even Peacemaker has his little group. Superman had his group. You had Guy Gardner, you had Hawk Girl, you had Mr. Terrific. You had to have. I don't think that James Gunn can write a solo film with one hero in it going on a journey and doing this thing. I don't think he can.
Well, he's blinded by one of biasness. You can't watch not one James Gunn project where he hasn't hired a friend or
His
the
brother.
woman he's in a relationship with or his brother.
Yep. He's gonna hire his same
Two
people over and
wives.
over.
Yeah, he had two different wives in projects since he's been a filmmaker. His brother is in everything, and his friend. Now, don't get me wrong. If you was directing a movie, I'm not gonna like beg, but I'm sure gonna be thinking like, man, I hope Quinn got like a cameo for me. You know,
But you
like
can't be in every project.
I will understand that he does it without filters. He does it like I don't care if you just seen my brother in Guardians as this character. In this, he's going to be Max Lord. Okay.
Yep.
Well, Pedro Pascal was just a terrible Max Lord
Horrible.
and Wonder Woman 84.
Hey, but to Pedro's defense, the whole script was horrible.
That whole script was horrible.
And I enjoy Wonder Woman 1, but Wonder Woman 2 is horrible.
Okay. Now, I'm so glad we just said that. Now, as a kid, I was a scientist. And my favorite word as a kid scientist was hypothesis.
Oh, yep. That's my hypothesis. Yep.
Okay. You figure out what's right, figure out what's wrong, and then you try to work it in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is it that out of the Snyderverse, okay, Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember who directed Justin Lin, Aquaman.
Oh, don't give me a line. I don't know.
Yeah. No, Justin Wan. Sorry.
Okay.
Justin
First
Wan
Aquaman was good too. First Aquaman was good too.
Okay. Now Aquaman 1 and Wonder Woman 1.
Great.
Amazing script.
Great.
Amazing actors. Everything's great. Both films did $1 billion, right?
Yep.
So if we see, okay, this was done right. So all we have to do is follow that recipe, follow those instructions. Stop trying to do something completely different. Why is it that Aquaman and Wonder Woman, when Wonder Woman is one of the top 3 pillars of DC, but those two critically and financially did well? Man of Steel, I mean, financially, it wasn't their greatest thing, but it wasn't the worst.
Though.
You know, BVS, right?
But I want to say this before we go into BVS, and I just recently watched it because I'm like, BVS gets a lot of hate, and I'm like, let me watch this again. It gets more hate than it's needed. Yes, the Martha, what name did you just say, is stupid. It's dumb. But again, this what locked in, and let's let everybody know. Just like my favorite boxer is Mike Tyson, but I understand that Muhammad Ali is the GOAT. My favorite Batman is Michael Keaton. But I'm sorry, the best Batman Bruce Wayne combo we've ever seen on screen is Ben Affleck. Is Batfleck. Yeah. You've never seen a fight scene like him. You've never seen him get busy like he did. He had to fight Superman. Ben Affleck does not get enough props for what he did. So no. I don't know. I think BVS gets more hate than it deserves. Is it perfect? Not anywhere near. Lex Luthor is horrible, and there was no need for them to put Doomsday in it at all. That was unnecessary. They could have saved Doomsday for something like serious, but it gets a lot of hate that it doesn't deserve.
Well, let's go back and add one more film to DC's success.
DCEU or DCU?
I'm going to say DC I'm just gonna say DC Comics
Okay, go ahead.
and Warner Brothers.
Okay.
So Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Joker, right?
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All were 3 successful films, billion-dollar status. All of them critically, financially, out of the world. We all know what the Joker did at the Oscars and the Emmys and everything. But that's the problem with Warner Brothers. They're just worried about money. They're not worried, and they end up costing themselves more money by just not listening and doing things in a way that, if you really want to be like Marvel, well, the first thing that Marvel had was leadership by Bob Iger. If you have one CEO over, Bob Iger being the CEO of Disney for the beginning stages of the MCU to the end game days of the MCU, that's the reason why you were able to have consistency. Warner Brothers and DC, they had 3 to 4 different regime changes over the time, from the Nolan verse, the Snyder verse, up until where we're at now with James Gunn. When you're having all these different CEOs coming in, they're chopping things. What the
Yep.
Batgirl movie never
Yep.
is going to see the day of light. It, yo, bro.
Like you said, when they said that The Rock was going to be in charge, and he was like, "I'm going to bring in," and when that Superman cameo happened at the end of Black Adam, and everybody was like, actually, everybody was like, pause for a second. I think Black Adam is another movie that gets more hate than it deserves.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Was it fantastic? No. It was fun. It was a fun movie. There was nothing wrong with it. You just probably don't like The Rock. And okay, and I get that, but like Black Adam was not horrible. But they gave The Rock that control real quick. And then they told who was Superman? What's his name?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill that he was going to come back, and then they made him look like an idiot
2 days later.
2 days later, like crazy.
2 days later. The Rock is bad luck, and I don't usually wish anything bad on anyone, but he's getting what he deserves also, because Zachary Levi wanted things to work out with the Shazam 2 film, where it was going to be him versus The Rock. And The Rock said, I do not, he said, I don't do co-billing.
You're right. This is why, look, yeah, karma's a bitch. Hey, you signed up to play the main villain for Shazam. You're supposed to fight Shazam. And guess what? You're not supposed to win.
You're not.
But you said, F Shazam, I want to fight Superman. Like Black Adam is Superman's nemesis. I'm like, bro, that's not how it goes. Like, you can't come in here and just start running ship. And that's what he thought. It should have been Shazam. Hold on, I'm sorry.
I had this.
Shazam 2 should have been Shazam versus Black Adam. That should have been part 2.
Yes. 1,000%. That should have, because it wasn't, and they had already allocated the funds for a part 2. They threw together a sloppy, terrible, pathetic script. Yo, bro, you know what? When I told you I wanted to do a rant on how we could fix the DCU, I came into this motivated, and I had all these ideas in my mind. And now that we actually like airing out all the dirty laundry and finding everything that's wrong, I think the only thing you can do is sell it to Paramount. You got to sell it to Paramount, and you got to let some people come in that's going to be able to do what they need to do without the stress or fear of, are they going to cut money?
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, insert big conglomerate here. It could be Paramount. It could have been Netflix. It could have been whoever. It could have been somebody that's like, hey, I'm not just going to throw away my money. Your product isn't delivering. It isn't making money. Why is that? And I think James Gunn is probably feeling the heat
yeah.
of that right now. My biggest issue, and I know you like Superman, and I think Superman's fun. I don't hate Superman, the James Gunn movie. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. It's fun. That damn dog. I don't want to see. The movie should have been named Crypto and Superman. Is what it should have been named. And then guess what? And then they made their follow-up movie about another Kryptonian, Supergirl. First of all, who's checking on that? And I think I'm skipping because we got to break down on how it should have came out. But fuck that. You should. If Superman was your movie, your second movie cannot be Supergirl because first of all, who cares? And then your third movie cannot be Man of Tomorrow, another Superman movie. How many years? It takes years to make a movie. You still don't have a Batman. You still don't have a Wonder Woman. You just came out with a shitty Green Lantern TV show trailer where his suit's not even green, and it looks like you're about to kill Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
like what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You come out with Guy Gardner, and you don't even. And it's okay, cool. So you're gonna put everybody in their comic costumes, and Superman has to have his underwear on the outside. Give Guy Gardner his costume.
What the?
Give him his costume.
Where's the best?
He has one of the best costumes.
Where's the ripped up?
Bro, he does. I'm sorry, James Gunn does not know what he's doing as far as running a studio or running the universe. Give him an individual movie and be like, okay, this is a James Gunn film. I have no problem with that. Guardians 3, hey, I think it's top 5 in Marvel. I love Guardians 3. I hate Guardians 2, but Guardians 3, I think, is one of the top 5 movies in the MCU. Give James Gunn a movie, but you cannot give him a whole studio.
No, you can't give someone who thinks they are more important than the actual actors or the actual studio. You can't give someone like that keys to the kingdom because they're going to eventually start thinking that they can overthrow the kingdom, that it's all about them. When he was doing, bro, if we would have reached out to James Gunn in the early status of him being named CEO of DC Films, we could have got him on the show. Like if we were filming back then, James Gunn was doing everyone's press. He didn't care about the amount of subscribers, none of that. If anybody reached out and he could fit in 2-3 minutes for like lower sub channels, he was doing it. That's someone who is addicted to the fame.
Bro, if you say something negative to him on Twitter, on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. Do you still have to say it like that? I feel like people understand. That means you should just change it back to Twitter. But anyway, that's another battle. If you say something negative about any of his projects and you tag him, there is a strong possibility that you might get a rebuttal from James Gunn himself. And that is not okay.
No, those Kevin Durant vibes are not good when someone is supposed to be thinking about winning. I'm very nervous about Man of Tomorrow. I don't know how much influence he's had on the Clayface movie.
Well, pause right there. Let's go with Man of Tomorrow. Here's the problem with Man of Tomorrow. Superman super underperformed. Pun intended. It underperformed. It did what, 600 million? Superman, the OG superhero, did 600 million. That's not. Did it make profit? Yes, but it didn't make. That's like you swinging for the fences at your first at bat, and it's like it wasn't a home run. Like if your big dog doesn't do it, then it's like what? So Superman's not going to do it. And like I said, you're going to give me 3 Superman projects in a row. Supergirl is going to lose about 200 million.
Yeah. Because
why did you make this movie? Like, why did you make this? There's no reason for Jason Momoa to be. I mean, he's Lobo. He was born to play Lobo, but there's no reason for Lobo to be in that movie. Like that was pointless. and then your next one's going to be a follow-up to Superman. No, none of your movie, you haven't come out with a successful movie yet. The only thing that you have in your pocket is Batman, and Batman's going to make $1 billion no matter what you do. So, okay, but Batman is the Spider-Man of the DC. So, I mean, it's going to make money, but you're going to confuse the people because you got a Robert Pattinson Batman, and then eventually you're going to have to come out with your own Batman, and we're going to be like, what are we talking about?
Yo, bro. Gunn and Matt Hardy. That's his name, right? No.
Venom?
No, not Matt Hardy. Oh my God. What is his name? Matthew,
From
the
what?
director of the Batman.
Oh, I just read it too. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Matt Reeves. Sorry.
Matt Reeves, yep.
Okay. So the next film that's coming out of the DCU is actually Clayface, right?
Clayface, yes.
Horror film. It's coming out October 23rd. And Matt Reeves was the original producer on this film, right?
Mhm.
But guess who had to add their name to it?
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
Because
So-
it should have been in the Batman universe. That Clayface should be in the, but again, this is going to be another confusing thing. But that Clayface movie should stay in the Batman's universe.
Gunn wants Matt Reeves to label his verse, his world, as DC Elseworld. You heard that?
Elseworld, yeah. Well, that is what the comic books call their alternate reality things. They do call it Elseworld. It's a dumb name, but that's what they call it.
You're a liberated man of intelligence. The average moviegoer
Well, not know.
they're going to be thinking to themselves, where's Robert Pattinson?
Okay, so just like Sony, but I get why Sony does it. Sony does it just for money so they can keep the rights to Spider-Man. I get why Sony does it. You don't have to do that. You cannot come out with, I need people to understand, stop making villains anti-heroes when they're not anti-heroes and they're just straight villains. And then also, if they're a villain, who are they a villain for? So if you got a Batman villain somewhere in this movie, you gotta have Batman. Sony makes horrible movies just so they can keep the rights to Spider-Man. They don't care that those movies suck. They know that they have to keep making a movie related to Spider-Man to keep Spider-Man rights. And then when the Spider-Man movie does come, it's going to make $1 to $1.5 billion to damn near $2 billion because it's Spider-Man.
And after they get their cut from Disney or Marvel, it's worth all the money they wasted on Morbius and
On
Madden.
all that shit. Yep.
So
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
But Warner Brothers doesn't have that issue because you own all the intellectual properties. So you don't have to make a villain movie. Oh, I'm sorry. You're trying to make it an anti-hero movie. Okay, another movie. I'm sorry. He's trying to make a Deathstroke and Bane team-up movie.
What?
Yes. Deathstroke and Bane. And they're going to be, again, not villains. They're going to be anti-heroes. Why are we doing this?
It sounds like a cop buddy film.
All his shit is cop buddy films. So that's the problem. I mean, that's the problem with the James Gunn DCU universe. He wants to be. It's so funny because he wants to be so different from the MCU, but also like you want to be the MCU, but you want to do it like your way. And they're like, bro, your way does not work. You have to put the MCU is successful because they set their pillars first. Yep. They came on Iron Man, they came on Hulk, they came on Captain America, they came out with Thor. They said that's the base. Any other character that came was built off of that base. Mm-hmm. And you was able to ride that wave. You can't ride a Supergirl wave about a superhero that doesn't even want to be a hero. And I'm not going to give y'all a spoiler alert, but didn't do some hero stuff at the end of that movie. You know,
Do you think that Supergirl, like I forgot the comic it was based off, what was it, Woman of Tomorrow, something like that?
yes.
Do you think it should have been a limited series on HBO Max instead of a film?
If you're doing that, what you are doing with the Lancers, absolutely, that should not have been a movie. And you
Okay.
could have extended it out. You could have actually made it matter. And another thing, again, I'm gonna go back to it. That damn dog.
Yeah, you don't like that
I
dog.
don't care. I don't care about you. To everybody that doesn't know, that is James Gunn's personal dog. That's really just his dog.
Yeah,
So
dude.
just like he puts his family in things, he also puts his dog in the show. So Crypto is his dog. And
What?
I don't know why I got two super Kryptonian movies, and the main story was I gotta go save this dog.
You know, man, may sound a little Gene Hackman conspiracy theory on this, but I think DC and Warner Brothers is feeling that Christopher Reeve's curse, right?
Speak on it.
So we know it was bad blood between Christopher Reeves and Warner Brothers after, I believe, Superman 2. He didn't want to do Superman 3. I think that was the one with Richard Pryor, or was that 4? I forgot which one, right?
No, Richard Pryor was 3.
Was 3?
4
Okay.
was when he went against the Sun guy.
So he didn't want to do any of those films afterwards. And when he finally agreed to it, he asked could he have some, some influence in it. Told him, no, you're just an actor, whatever. Okay, cool. Well, it's alleged that Christopher Reeves put a curse on DC Films and Warner Brothers, right? They haven't had a successful, think about it, a truly successful Superman since Christopher Reeves. Brandon Ross 2006 Return of Superman, that bombed.
So boring.
So boring.
One of the most boring superhero movie I ever heard.
Obviously we already know Man of Steel didn't do what it's supposed to do.
I enjoyed that movie though.
Yeah, it was cool. The recent Superman, you and I are somewhat conflicted on it. I can
think it was fun.
Lean more onto your argument as I rewatched it probably like 10 times at home, and I can pause and like point out things that I'm like, like I should have saw that coming. I think the only successful Superman that you've had since Christopher Reeves is the voice actor Tim Daly. Oh, and I forget how you say his last name. He played on Team Tyler Hoechlin or something like that. The Superman show that came on the CW. It was on like the last leg.
Smallville.
No, not Smallville. Not Smallville. I because I actually didn't like Smallville. Superman and Lois.
Oh, that's Dean Cain.
No.
Oh, no. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's Superman and Lois, yeah.
First of all. Yes. Lois and Superman.
Lois and Superman, so yes.
First of all, if you have not watched Lois and Superman, everybody go watch Lois and Superman. Lois and Superman is the best interpretation of Clark Kent Superman that you will ever get. It is fantastic. Even what they did with Bizarro and Doomsday makes sense.
Dude.
That show is amazing. It is amazing.
Especially with the budget. What they did with a TV budget, yes, and what they did with the TV budget during COVID. Are you kidding? Okay. So outside of, and we can throw the Dean Cain, Lois and Clark in there because it was successful. I may not have liked it, but it was successful. Smallville
it was
was
90s
successful.
cheesy.
Smallville, Lois and Clark, Lois and Superman, Tim Daly, the voice actor of Superman, all of those had success, real success, unquestioned success. But the films have not been there since they played Christopher Reeves all them years ago. You know what? You can't. I can't say. I can't save DC. I thought I could. I can't save.
I want to hear your lineup though. Give me. All right, give me. We're each gonna give the first 5 movies
that we will make.
If you were in charge of DCU, what would be your first 5 movies? I'm gonna give you my 5, and you give me your 5. So let's start with. We'll each go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5.
I got you.
Okay. All right, check it. So I already said my 1. My 1 is Superman. What would be your number 1?
I'm doing the Flash first.
Ooh.
Because are we saying why we would do which one first or no?
No. I mean, sure. I'm gonna speak on it.
I'm doing the Flash first because I want to explain timelines and multiverse to the audience in the beginning. I don't want to talk about it a little bit in this movie, a little bit in that movie. I want to talk about it from the get-go. So we already know that if one actor doesn't come back for part 2 or whatever, we've already introduced doppelgangers, alternate realities. I want that to be done first. So I'm going with the Flash first.
Okay. So I already spoke on my Superman, but I'll tell you this. So I wouldn't go with the Flash, but I also would not even tiptoe near multiverses and timelines. I think that's so played out. I think the crowd, the audience is so sick of all these different universes and stuff. That's why Marvel needs to wrap it up. So I would stick so far away from that, as far away as I can. I wouldn't even. It wouldn't exist. It wouldn't exist.
I don't trust the studios and actors enough. That's another reason why I would do the Flash first. Because what if I got what if the studio wants me to Jonathan Majors my star that I had lined up, and I want to keep the guy?
Well, let's say everything's going hunky dory.
Okay. Well, if everything is going hunky dory, I'm actually going with a Green Arrow movie first. If everything's going hunky dory.
Nah, bro, you're not starting your new universe off with Green Arrow. Come on, bro. You're not starting off with Green Arrow. This is not the CW.
Look, I told you, hypothesis was my favorite word as a kid, bro. I'm going to start on more of a indie route so I can get more money later. If I can, bro, if you do a successful Green Arrow movie,
you can't be mad at James Gunn making a Supergirl movie.
No. Yes, I can, because he's making the same movie.
He's just making the same movie.
So if you're making the same movie over, okay, I don't know if you know this, but there was a Green Arrow was supposed to be in the Nolan verse. There was a script written, and it was under the name Supermax. And in the movie, Christian Bale and whoever was going to be the Green Arrow, they were going to be in prison together. That was going to be the start of the Green Arrow film.
You know why that probably didn't happen? Because how many rich billionaire vigilante white guys can you have?
I got you.
You gotta. I need you to put. Look, I need you to take your creative hat off. This is James Gunn's problem. Take your creative hat off and put your. I'm a boss, and I'm about to give you a $300 million budget, and you're telling me.
Okay, fuck it. I'll go with Batman then. I'm going Batman then. If we got to go with a pillar, Yes. You gotta go with pillar. I go with
No, I'm not saying you gotta go with a pillar. I just want your universe to be successful, and your universe is not going to be successful starting off with Green Arrow, and then at some point you got to bring Batman in.
Well, you're saying everything has to be hunky dory in order for it to work, right?
Bro,
that's the exception. You said that's the exception, right? You said everything got to be hunky dory because they went with Superman first. They went with Batman first.
Hey, you know what? My bad. Hey, listen, that is your list, and that's fine. You can have Green Arrow. You're right. All right. So mine is Superman, as it should be. Okay. You have Green Arrow. What is your number 2? And now I'm gonna show you something with my number 2 because we're only doing 5. So what's your number 2?
No, if we can go back to forget that hunky dory stuff, then I'm going back to the Flash for the first one.
No. Listen, make your universe.
Okay, guys. Retraction. Cirque Money's first film would be The Flash.
The Flash. Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
Quinn's first film would be
Superman.
Okay. Now we're going number 2.
Number 2.
I will do Batman.
Mm-hmm.
What's your number 2, sir?
My number 2 would be Batman and Robin, and it would have a feature of Cyborg. Not just Batman. I'm bringing Robin into the fold because it's never really been done the right way.
No, it hasn't. Well, let's see.
I'm going to feature Cyborg, so you could feature somebody into your movies. Just FYI.
Wait, what was that? Chris O'Donnell. What was that?
Chris O'Donnell. Yep, and George Clooney.
Okay. Okay. This is number 3, right?
No. Oh, yeah. Because you said Batman's yours.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Number 3.
Number 3, and I can have someone featured.
You can have a feature.
I don't want to think too far out of the box. So number 3. I would want to see a Green Lantern movie done the right way.
I agree I agree 100%. But I got a path. So yes, my number 3 is also Green Lantern. Hal Jordan Green Lantern is who I want in there.
Not John Stewart. We want Hal Jordan.
John Stewart. I want Hal Jordan. John Stewart has to come later.
Okay.
John Stewart has to come later. This again, this is the building blocks of a universe. A 20-year thing. We're thinking like Marvel. The 20-year building block. Okay, I'm not starting with John Stewart. I'm starting with Hal Jordan. And then you can even before you do John Stewart, you can throw in what's his name? Kyle. I forget his name.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, there was forgive me. He wasn't that popular. But you could throw him in somewhere as like a kid somewhere. But yeah, I'm going Green Lantern. I'm going Hal Jordan Green Lantern in that. With Guy Gardner in that movie too.
Okay. So what are we on number 4? I'm on number 4.
So now you're on number 4.
Okay. Number 4, and since you said I can have people like check in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would want to do. Oh man, this is gonna be this. I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this. Fuck it. I would want to do a Swamp Thing movie. I want to do a Swamp Thing.
I like Swamp Thing. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't want everything to necessarily be connected.
Okay. It's your universe, sure.
Yeah, like I'm not going with every single thing. This person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So,
cool.
Will it be in the same universe? Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be connected.
Correct.
Cool. And people don't know Swamp Thing is a very overpowered thing. He's like really dope with it. He gets busy. So okay, when you break it down like that, I'm not mad.
And you know what? And you know what? And we could, you know what? It can be connected to Batman because Poison Ivy would be one of the protagonists in the Swamp Thing film.
There you go. I like it. I like it. This is number 4.
That was number 4.
All right, my number 4 is New Gods.
Oh, see, man, you playing dirty.
This is a New Gods, and this is when you're going to really see Darkseid really get busy.
Oh, that's dirty right there. Damn. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that was a good one. That was your number 4, right?
That was my number 4.
Okay. What hasn't been done the right way? What hasn't been done the right way? No, I don't. I don't want an origin movie. So let me get that out of the way. I don't want to do. Are any of these origin films your films?
No, they don't have to be origin films. They're just films.
Okay.
I feel like the audience at this point can just assume. Like I feel like we don't have to tell. Like I don't need to see Batman's parent die no more on film. I've seen it enough.
My 5th film would be another Flash movie. So whatever I fucked up, I would do a correct Flash point film.
So you do Flashpoint
for number 5. So then that way I can add in some of the Injustice storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can add in some of Crisis in that. Like I don't want it to be to where you just throwing everything in and it's confusing people. But I would want it to be whatever mistakes I made in my first 4 films, I'll correct it the right way with this Flash film, a Flashpoint.
Okay. My 5th movie would be Wonder Woman. I don't know how you gonna make your universe without having Wonder Woman in it at all, but I would bring in. But look at this. There's a method to my madness. Of course, Superman is Superman. There's a reason I brought in Cyborg with the Batman movie because you got to have the mother box. That's the tie-in. That's going to be the tie-in to the New Gods, and the New Gods also will end up tying into Wonder Woman. There's a reason to my madness. Now I should have said 6 because then 6 I would have had to brought in. I would have tried to tie it up with a Justice League. I don't even think I would bring Flash in yet. Do you think? Hold on. And the reason I say that, and I guess you could do the same thing with Wonder Woman on your side, but you can't unload the clip in the first stage. You know what I'm saying? You got to have somebody left that the audience want to see.
Well,
like,
okay.
Go ahead.
This is okay. What was his name? Andy Muschietti. I think the director of the Flash. I think that was his name.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah,
right. He kept saying, "Oh, he kept saying we're going to do a Back to the Future film with the Flash." Right? Love Back to the Future. You did not give us a Back to the Future film.
Nope.
I would give you that Back to the Future film with my Flash movie.
Bro, that movie has such promise to it. And I love again, I'm a Ben Affleck fan as Batman. I loved how they got down with that. I wish Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton's Batman would have got to interact at some point in that movie. I was like, it was just so discombobulated, that movie, and incoherent, and it should have been. I was excited for it. I did not go into that movie. I did not walk. I promise you, I didn't walk into that movie like I'm about to hate this movie. The CGI is some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life. The story is stupid. I hate how the other Barry. First of all, I don't like how that Barry acts in general. But the opposite Barry, I'm like, you okay? So the Flash is slightly on the spectrum, is what you're saying?
Yeah, dude.
He was horrible. Ezra Miller was horrible as the Flash.
It's so horrible. He wasn't even allowed to do press for the film. I feel so bad for what's her name, Sasha Callie. I wouldn't have mind seeing not a Supergirl film by her, but I do think she deserves at least a limited series.
I liked her Supergirl. I was interested in her Supergirl.
She was with the shits, and I think she was more on. You, I don't know, maybe you agree with me. She was more on the Power Girl side than the Super.
She could have been Power Girl. That would have made sense for her to be Power Girl. You are spot on. I never thought about that out loud, but you are spot on. She could have. They should have made her Power Girl.
You know, I think both are our ways. You know, because I got to give myself credit too.
Yeah.
Would definitely be better than the bullshit that we've gotten. And you know what? Maybe, in just wrapping up on my thoughts of things, maybe the DC shouldn't have a shared universe because, you know, the Christian Bale Batman films were in its own world, and The Dark Knight is not only one of the greatest comic book films, it's one of the greatest films of all time.
I think you're spot on right there. You're dropping a lot of knowledge today, my boy. DC and Warner Brothers, they're trying to do in some like 5 years what took Marvel 20 years to do.
Yeah.
It didn't happen overnight. I mean, even if you just take up to Endgame still took 11 years to get to Endgame. It took 11 years to get to Endgame. And you're trying to do it in 5. You can't. So it's already been done. So maybe you should just work on making dope ass solo trilogies, a new Batman trilogy, and let his villain stay over there, and a new Superman trilogy and let his things stay over there. And guess what? If you do that, you can drop more than just one a year. You can drop a Batman movie in the spring. You could drop a Superman movie in the fall. You can spread it out a little bit more, because at this rate with James Gunn, it'll be 2032 before we get Batman.
Oh, and rest assured, if Man of Tomorrow doesn't do well, he's done.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Peter Stafford is going to have no choice but to say, "Hey, you know, you my boy, but gotta go."
Yeah. That's a wrap. Well, we've talked for about an hour on how much we don't like DCU. Well, I mean, you like Superman. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I still put Fantastic Four above it because they came.
That's my only issue, is that you're pitting me against that movie. If you would have pitted Superman against another film, I probably would have sided with you. But I just don't understand a man of your intelligence.
Because I can go back and watch Fantastic Four, and the actual storyline is more important. Now, if I just want to watch people get the shit beat out of them for an hour and a half, I'll go watch Superman. If I'm just going in there for just pure punch entertainment, yes, I will watch Superman over Fantastic Four. If I'm listening to a story, though, I'm going to watch Fantastic Four. That's my difference. It's like when I go back and watch Deadpool versus Wolverine. When I watched that movie in the theater, I'm like, this is amazing. This is awesome. I loved it. I loved every bit. I told everybody, go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. If I go try to watch that movie now, I'm like,
I go to sleep.
I'm like, this is stupid. All it is unlimited stabbing and cutting and blah, 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 blah. And nobody gets hurt because they're healing factors, and it's stupid. But when I watched it the first time, I'm like, oh, that was exciting. That was fun. I can only watch that so many times. I'm a person that needs a story. And Superman has a dumb story, but it has a lot of good fight scenes.
So in closing, are you Are you hopeful
For what?
for the DC?
No, I need whoever's going to be in charge to hurry up and take it out of James Gunn's hands. So I'm more excited for the Batman 2 than I am for anything DCU.
Say no more.
And I don't even like Robert Pattinson, but sure. Because the Penguin on HBO, that TV show was amazing.
Masterclass.
Like amazing. So I'm not anti DC at all. You see all this DC shit behind me. I'm not anti at all. But no, James Gunn's DCU sucks.
Okay.
All right.
Well, hey. In closing, we're not hopeful, but that S on my boy chest says that we gotta stay strong. So we gonna stay on the ship until the ship sink, and we gonna see how it goes,
Absolutely.
man. This has been another great episode of I Snuck In Here, and on the way out, when you're sneaking up out of here, don't get caught by the police. My boy Q. Later.